Hi, and welcome to Hume 2, Week 2, Module 2 at Shasta College. I'm sorry about this. Hopefully I get this done right this time. This is the third time I'm making a video for you guys, so hopefully this one will work. All right, Week 2, Module 2. We're going to talk about chapters 21 and 22. Now, the reason you have to read chapter 19 is because it explains why and how things work, how it changed because of Luther and his 95 Theses. So it's really important that you read that, because now we're going to see the effects of that and the results of that and how that really influenced everything. So, okay. So there's a lot of things to watch and listen to this week, and for that I apologize, but we're not in an actual classroom, so this is kind of what you get stuck with, right? But there's some fascinating things, so make sure that you check it out. I know you're not going to be able to watch every minute of everything and listen to every second. That's okay. Do the best you can so you can answer your questions and feel informed, all right? Chapter 21 is all about absolute power, and there were no kings, none, anywhere in the world, as interesting and fascinating and that believed in absolute power more than Louis XIV in France. Now, the thing about Louis is that he spent all his money on his palace, Versailles. He was a huge lover of the arts and human expression. Now, remember that human expression can be all kinds of different things. It's not just the art that we see on the wall. It's not just the music that's played. It's ballet. It's cooking for people. It's doing hair. It's hunting and being able to tan hides, and human expression is endless, really. There are so many fascinating, interesting things. Now, this is at the beginning, so you have to remember that. But Louis really, although he wasn't a very good king, he's called the Sun King because he believed that the world revolved around him. He was the sun to everybody. Not S-O-N, but S-U-N. And Louis was fascinating and interesting. We studied him. I took 4 years of French in high school, and we studied him quite a bit because he was such an interesting character in their history. So, but he was a huge, huge supporter of human expression and the arts. Ballet, opera, literature. So you'll read a little bit of Moliere this week. One of the things that I think is really fascinating about Louis is that he was the one that invented heels for men, not for women. Heels. Heels were invented for men. Think about men's cowboy boots, that heel that they have, stacked heel. I have a short dad, so he always wore cowboy boots when I was a kid. Still does to this day. But those were invented by Louis. He made his fencers and his fighters wear them. Because when you're in heels, you stand up straighter, you have better posture, and you could stay more focused and be aware that when you're fighting, you have better posture, so you could be a better fighter. Interesting, huh? So that's where heels came from. But that was how Louis thought. So just FYI, that's one of my favorite stories about him. So, but we're not going to just look at France and Louis XIV, because he wasn't the only absolute monarch, or the only monarch that believed in absolute power. There were many at this time. So you're going to look at absolute power in Islam, in the Ottoman Empire, in the Mongol Empire, in the Ming and Qing dynasties as well in China. And then there's one video in particular that I put in there, and it's about the Forbidden City, because their emperor believed that he was the center of the world as well. And so he took all his money and poured it into the Forbidden City. And there's a documentary, and it is fascinating. Now, I get it. It's like an hour and some change. You don't have to watch it all. I'm cool with that. But if you can, skim it, look at it, find some of it interesting if you can. So I get that you're probably not going to be able to watch a whole hour of that one in particular. But I just want to give you the option because it is really fascinating. Then we're going to look at Baroque in in the Protestant North. Now, Baroque is a style of human expression. It is not that it's Baroque, it's Baroque. It's B-A-R-O-Q-U-E, not broken. Okay. And that was mostly Britain and England. And there was a time when the average person was learning to read. Remember that when Luther nailed his 95 Theses to the door, one of his complaints was that the upper echelon of the Catholic Church held sway over everyone because they were the only ones that could read the Bible. So anything they said was law because it came from the Bible, because they were the only ones that could read it. So now you're getting the common person could read, and this has changed everything. So if a pastor said the only way to heaven is through paying for indulgences, the common person could read the Bible and go, I don't see that in here. So I think I'm not going to agree with you. And no, wait, there's a different way to heaven. And So this was a powerful, powerful thing for everyone to be able to read. They had the printing press with movable type, which made it much faster and economical to create their pamphlets. Okay, they didn't really have books, but pamphlets. So you have the Bible. Everybody learned to read on the Bible. And then after that came the pamphlets. So you have plays are being written down and shared. And you have British literature and poetry. And you have, so you're going to see a little bit this week about poet John Donne and then author John Milton in Paradise Lost. As an English major in college, that was my bachelor's is in English. I have read all these and they're kind of fascinating. So this is one of my favorite sections as well because I just recognize everything and it's fun. So then you're going to look at a little bit of, you're going to go beyond written human expression and you're going to look at Rembrandt. He's fascinating, isn't he? And then you're going to listen to Handel and Bach. Bach's a little freaky. He's a little scary. He's dark. So I think I picked the right one for him. But listen to those as well. And find it fascinating and think about, while you're listening to this, that you had to go somewhere to listen to this. They didn't have radios. They didn't have AirPods. You couldn't catch something on your phone and listen to it. It was really, really interesting that you would have to go somewhere to listen to someone play. Church was where a lot of the music was. So Handel does a lot of religious music. So read it and see what you think. And think about the fact that, you had to go to a concert to hear it. You really couldn't just listen to it any time. There were no records. There were no 8-track tapes. There was nothing but live performances. So kind of interesting, huh? Then I think that's it for our actual week. So some other things that we wanted to discuss. I will get to your discussion posts, usually Monday and Tuesdays. I look at those, see how it went. I know that the first one might be a little rough. That's okay. Do the best you can. I'm looking forward to reading them, though, because I find it fascinating what you guys think about the Protestant Reformation, Luther and his 95 Theses. So many people didn't ever know about that until they take this class, and I find that really interesting and fascinating. Please know there's something about me. I don't give 5s very often. So if you're getting 100%, you're rocking it. But if you're not, don't panic. I don't give 100% typically. Make sure you check the rubric that's attached to the discussion post if you have any questions, or shoot me an email through Canvas. Remember, that's the best way to get a hold of me. There were some questions about some current events, or cultural events, I'm sorry. Before COVID, I would want it to be something new and something that you've never done before. But because of COVID, that's changed. So there's 3 requirements for COVID. It needs to be a previous cultural event, so a sporting event, a concert, something that you've already attended, that kind of thing. Current items can be virtual items. Somebody asked me if Hamilton on Disney Plus would count. Absolutely. The Met offers a virtual tour of their museum. The Louvre in France actually offers a virtual tour of theirs. So find something interesting for that current item. And then what you're doing during COVID is the third one. What are you doing in COVID to stay connected? Like my husband's human expression is cooking, all right? So remember, human expression is many, many different things. So his is cooking. That is not mine, okay? Not mine at all. So find out what yours is. We had neighbors come over for dinner last night, and that was really fun. And we had some great conversations. We were social distancing, right, like you're supposed to. And so that would be what I would write about. Maybe is our dinner party of a well distanced dinner party. So there is another one coming up on September 10th. I think it's in the evening. I don't have the exact time yet. Mara Leesom, an award-winning journalist, is coming to present at Shasta College. It'll be a virtual presentation. She was supposed to be here in March, but because of COVID, she couldn't be here. So now she's going to do it this semester. And I get to introduce her to everyone virtually because I was a longtime journalist. And I also teach the journalism class at Shasta College. So they asked me to present her, and I'm super excited. And I would love there be people there. So please, if you need a cultural event, a current one, that would be a fascinating one. And I will give you extra credit for being there also. So make sure you let me know that you were there. I don't know if I'll be able to see all the screens or not, but let me know if you go. That is, again, September 10th. Now, there's 3 requirements. There's previous, current, and then what you're doing during COVID. You can do those in any order for the cultural events. They don't have to be as they're listed in the syllabus. You can do them at all. And then also we're going to have our virtual office hours. We're going to do a chat on Mondays from 1 to 2. You can hop in if you want. You don't have to. It's on the left-hand side of your Canvas page. So just go ahead and hit the chat button. I have the app on all my devices, so I can do it anywhere. So usually I'm there, but it does take me a second or two to get back to you because I have to refresh it constantly. So please give me a second or two, minute or two to get back to you. I apologize if it's not instantaneous. If those times don't work for you, remember, email me through Canvas, or if you want to set up a Zoom for another reason, let me know. We can be pretty flexible. So, all right, I hope you have a great week, and I hope this one works because this is the third time I've made this video. Have a great week. Bye-bye.